Hey everyone, welcome back to 22 Panels. This is the podcast that aims to examine, explore, and of course elevate the medium of comics. I am Tyler, and across the interwebs from me is my good buddy Tad, although he's not on with us currently. This happens to be our second time recording. The first one got a little jumbled. So we're going to jump right into our conversation with Zack Kaplan. We are talking about Kill All Immortals, and Zack was just about to tell us about the book. Which is great because I love Norse mythology. My dog's name is Freya. I don't know if you knew that, Ted, but my dog's name is Freya.
Know that.
That's perfectly fitting.
Yeah.
My Aunt Janet had a dog named Freya too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I've known a couple of Freya.
I didn't know that was a common dog name.
Well, I mean, I've got Norwegian heritage. I don't know about Tyler.
Yep. I do. Yeah, no, mine is Danish, but still,
it's a Scandinavian Minnesotaites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This book was made for you guys. Then
I feel
being of the heritage.
Yeah. So where did this come from for you?
Yeah.
God, that's a good question about where the heck I got Immortal Vikings, but I literally think it was just that idea, just kind of, I really think that was it. It was kind of like thinking about immortality stories and all the different kinds of permutations we've seen, and just something about Vikings. I think at first it was cool. And I was just like, cool. Immortal Vikings is just cool. That was where it started for me. But then I think as I started to expand, what would Vikings be like in modern day, it kind of came to me that they would kind of be, obviously still all powerful billionaire trader, marauders, but then using their kind of unabashed barbarism to continue to, consume power, which is then kind of a metaphor for billionaire capitalistic endeavors anyway. And so then it all kind of started to click for me, that was a really interesting story there. And I also think it came from thinking about the curse of immortality, and kind of when you're immortal, but you're in a family, how that kind of, it's not your own interest, but the family interests, and kind of in a very kind of, we've seen that kind of tale in general power stories and power family stories, like the HBO show Succession, but then adding that layer of immortality really just made an interesting character, thing to explore. And then of course, if they're going to be fighting, they have to be fighting kind of modern day with Viking weapons, but in modern locale. So that made it feel very kind of John Wick. And so the whole thing came together to be kind of Immortal Vikings fighting modern day John Wick style in a family power struggle. And that's kind of how it all formed. And then
so Zack, do you just take your cap off and like have scraps of paper that have, okay, what things have been billion-dollar ideas in the last 5 years? John Wick, Succession. You throw them all into the cap. You draw
mix it up,
and you're like,
Viking series.
There we
on
go.
The History Channel. Yeah.
It was also because this is my most actiony sort of comic. I feel this is certainly
definitely more actiony than I'm used to from you.
Yeah,
in a good way. I'm loving it.
Yeah. I got to try my hand at action, and we have a lot of fun. It's very bloody and violent, and we have a great time. There's some amazing action sequences in not just the first issue, but in future episodes and issues. It's just really some stunning stuff. But it's more supernatural, and kind of a lot of some things I've explored are a little sci-fi, and so this was kind of a chance to kind of stretch my my writing experience and try a couple different things, and had an amazing time with it.
It feels like it was a really good fit for Dark Horse.
It
feels like a Dark Horse comic for sure.
I agree. And I try when I bring a publisher an idea to think about what else they have in their catalog. And you look at something like American Gods, or
Mhm.
Atomic Blonde. Like it felt like Dark Horse has a real track record with both Viking stuff and they've got like The Witcher, which is not Vikings, but it's certainly like swords and sandals,
Yeah.
and it feels adjacent. And then you have they have these kind of high octane action thrillers that they've done. So it did feel really very much like a Dark Horse book. So I think not only did I bring it to them for that reason, but I think that's why they were like, absolutely, let's do this. So and they again, this is my third collaboration with them, if you count
Mhm.
Breakout and then the Midnight Shadows. So, having an amazing time collaborating with Dark Horse. They're just a dream publisher. And then
Did you pitch it to them? Did you pitch it to them like, listen, it's Succession meets John Wick?
I think
Or-
so. Yeah, I think that was the
Okay.
pitch from the get-go. I think it has always been, once I had it kind of formed
But
out
with
on my
Vikings.
own. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's a session with immortal Vikings and they're fighting John Wick style, and that's kind of all you need to know. And there's
Mhm.
and the only daughter in the family wants out, which kind of has a kind of a Kill Bill sort of connotation in the sense that
Yeah.
she's fighting through her family. Yeah, and it it's kind of, it's a lot of like, it's this really high concept idea, but it's a lot of different kinds of things. Like Tad said, you take all these like things and like mash them all together. I feel like that's a very me thing too, like to take a bunch of different like genres or different elements and try to mash them together. So
and I definitely think that exploring billionaires and really evil billionaires is more and more in the zeitgeist. For that matter, did you, I'm assuming you know about it since you've worked with John Pearson. Did you know about Infernals before you were writing this? Because I feel like yours got announced first and they came out first, but
purely coincidental.
Semi-different takes, but similar takes on like
both looking at
billionaire.
both looking at I guess, and the Infernals is an immortal family, both completely generated.
I mean, they use the devil, so I mean, you're much cooler.
I won't go there. Different,
way cooler.
I won't go there. Different stories. Infernals is an amazing series as well. I think that probably Ryan Parrott came up with Infernals completely in his own lab, and I came up with Kill All Immortals. We must have come up with them at similar times, completely separate.
And what I want to know is who's going to do it with dogs, because that's the other zeitgeist going on.
Dogs, yes. Between
Man's Best and
Stray and Feral and Animal Pound. Dogs are in right now. So, I don't have the dogs. I don't have a dog. Who's going to do the?
Coming. Oh, wait a minute! No. Mark Russell already did. He has Billionaire Dog and Billionaire
That's
Island.
True. Yes.
Funny.
So you guys are all just ripping off Mark Russell. That's what's going on.
Yes. So
you're going, Mark.
No, I don't have a dog.
Satire.
Billionaire Island. Yes, another great series. I guess look, billionaires are very much in the zeitgeist in terms of looking at
a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. But I think for me in this one, it was fun to connect the metaphor of immortality to familial legacy wealth, and how there are over 1,000 different billionaire families in the world that just continue to pass on their wealth to their offspring, and they never lose their power or their influence. And even though many billionaire families are self-made in the past 100 years, they become this
sometimes in these immortal 100 years. Even some of the ones that are self-made in the past 100 years, if you start digging, it's like, okay, they weren't billionaires 200 years ago.
They might have had opportunities.
They were just millionaires.
I like stories that kind of look at the supernatural trope. It's the same as Mindset was about mind control and our devices, but obviously you could take out the supernatural component and it still kind of rings true. And so you have this family of barbaric Vikings that are, clearly all powerful, and you can almost take out their immortality and it still works on that level
Right.
that they're just ruthless and
Well, but
murderous.
with the immortality actually, and going away from making fun of billionaires for a second, I think what I was actually most attracted to in this first issue is um the character of Frey.
Right.
Frey. It's
Mhm.
Frey for you.
Right. Yep.
Um, on two levels. The first is uh, being immortal is great, except when the people you like and love aren't immortal, and the people who are immortal you don't get along with very
Yeah.
well. Um, and there's a lot of that highlighted. But then the other thing is, um, I get the feeling that even like her 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 humanitarian work is only part humanitarian and part she's just bored, and like anything to do the opposite of what her family's doing, because what her family's been doing for all of this time fucking bores her.
I think it's not so much that it bores her as so much she has quite an aversion to it.
Right.
She does not want any part of the business and of their power struggles and their appetite for power,
Right.
but she's helpless to really do anything about it. And so she's carved out this niche in her life where she's trying to explore humanitarian efforts and trying to find some sort of meaning in her life by staying away from her family. And of course, that's not going to work out so well. That there's some circumstances in this first issue that thrust her, into conflict with her family. And what will happen then is kind of that's the launching pad of our series. But she's like a very interesting character, very strong-willed, very very powerful, but also very helpless against her family, and kind of it's kind of the dark side of immortality, like you said, being immortal with a family that you don't respect or appreciate, but you're stuck with them. So
uh,
yeah, it's
I'm looking at some of the, let me share my screen so you at least can see what's catching my attention right now. We go from, I just love this visually. We go from,
Are we a video podcast though, Ted, or is
no,
this a,
no, no,
okay?
no, no, no.
Oh, so
No.
But we
we're
do,
just showing. Yes, yes, yes.
right. It's so you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. This is
Our
secret. This is
listeners are
secret
like,
stuff.
Case
If
what
in
you're
are
point,
they
listening,
right?
talking
if you're
about?
listening to the podcast, you gotta wait to
No,
read it. Yes.
because
Listeners
I
are-
like how you balanced, the serious violence, and then give us this very brief interlude of just beautiful oceans, a sailboat
Yeah.
with just the two of them.
Yeah.
And then somehow, even though it looks all nice and whatnot, just the design of the house, you're going into hell.
Yeah.
Frank, yeah, like a
Yeah.
Frank Lloyd
It's
Wright
just,
house.
It
yeah.
is very much. So I got the pleasure on this one of collaborating with another amazing creative team. Fico Ossio is the artist. He's
Yeah.
done a lot of DC things, Action Comics, and Mr. Miracle, and he's done a very very vibrant, dynamic book with Dark Horse called No One Left to Fight. But this is a real just quite different from that. This is very like gritty and modern and just absolutely gorgeous locations and really some incredible fight sequences and action and just moody as hell. I mean, it really does
Yeah.
feel like a Fincher-esque Secession style canvas. And that also then goes to our colorist, Thiago Rocha, who came on board to the project when Jordi Belair wasn't able to finish it or go for it for us, and so excited for people to
and
see
and the
the
colors,
colors.
I'm glad you brought up the colors, because that's another, the colors are really setting the tone here. We have
Yes,
this cool dinner that's all beautiful, except that it's got the undertone of suppressed violence, and
yes,
then it just goes all orange and red
explodes.
as it explodes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The colors have so much energy to them and mood, and it's a
Oh, look
real
at that. The
contrasting
gold
balance.
back there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
real contrasting balance to like the calms before the storms and then the eruptions of it all. And yeah, it's a beautiful book. Hassan Otsman Elha is lettering it. The lettering is just so sleek, and
The balloons are perfect too.
yeah. It's
Mhm.
just
I mean, that's part of lettering,
We
but
talked to
not
yeah.
all
Hassan.
of our listeners know the difference. Hassan kills it with knowing the right balloons to use.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Um,
yeah,
Totally
there's
agree.
just a lot of nuance in the lettering, not just the sound effects, but yeah, the energy that he puts on the ridges of a balloon, you know, just
right.
to give it that vibrancy, or you know, that one where the father's mumbling, you
Yeah.
know, and it's got so
Yeah.
it's yeah, the lettering is really just yeah, really proud of this book, and proud for people to check out the artistry
So
work.
I
Yeah.
know with um Beyond Real, you managed to pick out most of your artists going into it when you were talking to Vault.
Yeah.
Had you done that with this book, or did Dark Horse hook you up, or how did pairing with Fico Asio come about?
Yeah. Actually, this one, Fico and I had been talking about doing something for a long time. I had actually
Okay.
seen him post some Batman. I think it was actually just like inspiration images, and it was
Okay.
amazing. And so we had been talking about something, and then then I had shared this idea with my editor at Dark Horse before Fico was on board, and
Okay.
Dark Horse was excited by it, and so then it was kind of saying, okay, well, and then bringing him in, and it all happened very organically in that regard. And then the same with colorist, and so I got to assemble the team as it was coming into Dark Horse.
Okay.
You know, and yeah, it's a lot of fun to kind of find the right artists and talent and creatives to put together on these books. So
So when you're talking about talking with your editor at Dark Horse, you've got two listed here: Spencer
yeah,
Cushing
Spencer
and
Cushing and Connor
Knudsen.
Knudsen, yeah, both of them. Yeah,
So
amazing,
did you pitch it to
amazing
both of
editors,
them,
and
or
they're pretty much my ride or die editors at this point. We did Breakout together,
okay?
and then we Kill All Immortals, and then the Midnight Shadows, which is the graphic novel that comes
Which we
out
will
this fall. And I've done
definitely
all three
talk
of
some
them.
about
Yeah, we'll talk in a moment.
moment.
All
Yeah.
three with Spencer and Connor. So amazing as far as editors are concerned, and just yeah, ride or die for me in terms of making books at Dark Horse. They're incredible.
Before we move on from
Yeah.
I
before we
wasn't
move
getting there
on
yet. So
from
Tyler,
this, what's that?
I said I wasn't going anywhere yet.
Okay, good. Uh, what was your research like for like on the Viking end of things? I mean, did you already know a lot about Eric
I
the
had to
Red?
go live in Viking Town for a few weeks. No.
Yeah,
That would be awesome. Did you
that
take
would have
your
been
kids
sweet.
with,
I
or
got some
did you leave them
tattoos.
home?
I
Yeah.
drank some yeah, I have a broadsword. I
And
can wield it
and
now.
and you said your daughter's how old?
Six.
9. Yeah, she
9.
Nine.
So that's old enough to have taken her hunting with you if you were
for
living in
sure,
Viking
bow and
Town.
arrow and all.
So
Uh
did she bring down anything?
I watched all the seasons of the Viking TV show on FX. So that
Did
was
you?
all the
Okay.
research that I
That's
needed
all
to
you
do.
needed. You got Ragnar, in that show.
I read a lot about Viking culture for sure. But what's
Yeah.
interesting is it's kind of taking some of that and trying to make these characters feel Viking in their tattoos and their hairstyles and the way they carry themselves and the power dynamics in the family. And a lot of this character design with Fico, but then the landscapes, everything is modern too, and it's also making sure that the fashion sense, the houses, the boats, everything feels the wait staff, everything feels billionaire class modern, and that's different than Viking culture. And so
Mhm.
you see that they've evolved to fit into kind of our century here. So yeah, it's
Also,
some
you
research, but yeah.
you've got Eric and you've got Thor. So are you kind of taking back and forth between Viking culture and Norse mythology, or how did you?
No, actually, so the premise is, and this is that the Eric the Red, it's Eric the Red, and so
Okay.
his four adult children are Thor, Leaf, Thorvald, Leaf,
Okay.
Thorstein, and Freydis. These were Eric the Red's four
Gotcha.
adult children. So
Gotcha. So we're going.
That's what I was going to
I
ask
had
you. Were they
forgot that
his
Eric the
actual
Red
children?
had the Thorvald.
he had
So
he had yeah. So this is ripped from history and from research.
so we're going from the history rather than the mythology. I think that
Yes.
actually makes it cooler.
Yes, this is the
Yeah.
historical yeah. And
But
actually
but
they
but it
were they
also now
yeah.
creates a new question: is how did they become immortal? Is that something that's
Well,
dealt
that
with, or is that something that we
no,
just have
that
to
is
accept?
no, that is the mystery of the book, my friend.
Oh,
That is the mystery of
fantastic!
how did these
Oh,
Vikings become
fantastic!
immortal?
Because in
And
my head we were talking Norse gods, and they were just immortal because they were immortal. But now, oh,
yes, no, no,
No,
you
this
we're
just
talking
took a
about
comic
the
that I was
historical
ridiculously
figures.
these were
excited for, and it's
ordinary
like, Zach, I
Vikings.
want it all right now.
These were ordinary Vikings that became immortal, and
Okay.
they have been immortal for 1,000 years. And the question is how and why, and that is a mystery that unfolds over the story and has implications as to this power struggle. So,
Well, and then there's also got to be, at least in my mind, the question of, are they the only immortals, or are we going to run into other immortal families? I mean, if Vikings can become immortals,
sure,
why can't Rockefellers or
sure.
any other
Save it.
ridiculously rich?
I'll save it for the next arc.
Ah.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Sounds good.
wow. I love it when
So
things I
the
thought I knew get like you're watching my wheels churn right now, Zach. I
yeah,
want more
because
issues.
it,
It's a
it
listen. It's
Is he done drawing it? Just send it my way. I
it's
won't tell anybody.
trying to give a little bit of everything. It's we've got the provoking themes about billionaires and our modern kind of world and the haves and have nots, and obviously a strong female character who really kicks butt, and we're hoping to kind of follow in the footsteps of an Erica Slaughter. And we've got these great action sequences, and we've got things people love like Vikings immortality. But yeah, I think that there's a real interesting mystery and a real interesting character story that's kind of wrapped up into all of that. And so I think for readers of mine who love uh some of my other work that seems to have that mystery and intrigue to it, and they see this and just say
Yeah, I'm
action,
beginning to
yes,
wonder,
it's action, but it's also got it's
are
got a pretty amazing mystery, and I really am
are
excited.
you a mystery writer at heart that just prefers writing sci-fi fantasy? Because you're
No, I
right.
think I am. I
Most
think I
here.
am a sci-fi writer at heart who writes a
Okay.
lot of mystery. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I always start with and that's a great question, and I think it really goes to where you start as a writer and where you come up with. And for me, conceptually, it's always about the world. It's
Okay.
always about the world of the idea. And you know mindset is about a world where mind control exists in relationship to our phones, and the discovery of that. Beyond Real is about a world where you can break through our ordinary life into a simulation of different artistic layers. It's always about the world for me, and then what comes out of that is finding the character that both is best suited to go on a journey in that world. And then mystery usually even comes after that. So I love mystery, and I love peeling back the layers of the world and peeling back the layers of the character's journey. But for me, it's the
It's
world
the
first.
world
I mean,
building first.
I've often said, like, at heart, I'm a Midwestern uh guy. Grew up in the Midwest for a good part of my life, cornfields and all, and I'm very much like
Where
the
in the
kid in
Midwest? I don't think we've hit that before.
yeah, Quad Cities, Iowa,
Okay.
for about
Iowa,
seven
yeah.
for about 7 years. And so
My
I'm
best
the
friend
kid.
was
I'm the
the
kid in the cornfields looking up and kind of saying what's out there. Only
Okay.
now I'm an adult and I'm a little bit afraid of what's out there too. So it kind
Right.
of comes into like dreaming about that world and then finding the potential dark sides to those worlds. So
Right. Right.
yeah.
Okay. No, the
So
Quad
but that
Cities well.
yeah, grew up there
I
for
had a
a good
couple.
bit.
Yeah, no, man, Janet had a church in Moline. She's a Methodist pastor.
Yeah, Moline, yeah, yeah.
She's
That was right
Methodist.
across the river. Yeah.
And my friend Mark was the investigations editor at the Quad City Times for
Well,
6 or 8 years.
wow.
That's cool. Cool.
Yeah, I left years ago and ended up living in North Florida for my later adolescence, but my earlier
So,
childhood
so,
was
so
in the
you,
Quad
so,
Cities.
so you went from crazy to crazier.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember Quad Cities in Iowa being crazy. Florida gets a reputation for being crazy
Yeah,
and while
Florida
being
definitely has the reputation, but this is where you have to remember that my friend was the investigations editor,
yeah,
so I got to hear all of the underside of the
I
Quad
was a kid,
Cities.
so I did not get those. I did not read that part of the newspaper. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't even
But
have to read the newspaper. He'd just tell me about it when we were hanging out.
I think it's always for me about the world, and it's always about like, thinking, and any story, it's about thinking about the world of immortality and how it relates to kind of our modern times,
Right.
and that's kind of, I think, where my ideas usually come from. I do
Still
like
trying to
taking.
deconstruct how, as I realized that like all of your stories have a strong mystery component. I don't disagree that they're sci-fi first in terms
Yeah.
of how I would categorize them, but right now, as I'm thinking of all
That
the stories
probably
that I
comes
tell,
from the way I like to lay out a story. And I
okay,
think I like to lay out a story in pieces and kind of let the reader. I don't like to give the reader the entire story up front. I like to or the entire world up front. I like to let the reader kind of discover the world as we go. I mean, I think anything from Eclipse to Port of Earth, Join the Future, like Metal Society, they all have world that you do not get in entirety in the first issue. And so that makes you feel like as you're going through the story, you're kind of uncovering the mystery of the world. And if it's done right, then the mystery of the world is wrapped up into the conflict of what the character is dealing with. And so I think, yeah, that's just kind of a style of story that I like to explore, to let that world unfold slowly. So
since I know that you're on a clock tonight, and so are Tyler and I, because it's the end of the school year. Let's shift gears and
Yeah.
tell me how you got hooked up with the Midnight,
uh,
and then tell me about Shadows.
yeah, so this is a collaboration with this amazing synthwave band. They're one of the biggest synthwave bands in the world. They're called the Midnight, Tyler Lyle and Tim McEwen. And yeah, I actually knew Tyler before they were the Midnight, and then they happened to become this band that I absolutely loved. I would listen to their music, daily and weekly as I would write. And it came out of kind of just a chit chat of saying, you guys ever want to do a comic or a graphic novel? And they did, and they talked about it. And so we came together, and this kind of this book was born, and we brought it to Dark Horse, who came on board. And it's very inspired by the Midnight. They have this a really, not just an amazing aesthetic to kind of their music, but they sing about a lot of really fascinating themes about nostalgia, about the birth of technology and video games in the 80s and 90s, about kind of the fantasy of losing yourself in a night, or kind of facing your own monsters and demons. And so as a writer, I kind of took all of this narrative fodder and foundation that was already in their music and came up with an original story. And I think it's the kind of story that if you've never heard of the Midnight, but you pick up this book, you will absolutely love it. It's also a Zack Kaplan comic. It's got a lot of the same things that I tackle in a lot of other books. And it stands alone, but if you are a fan of the music, or if you go and discover the music, then you're in for a treat, because it's got all these sorts of Easter eggs about, from the music. It's so indicative of the style and storytelling of the music, and it feels really like an amazing connected reflection to it. And we've teamed up with amazing artists, Stephen Thompson and Janoy Lindsay. And then again, my colorist from Kill All Immortals, Thiago Rocha, is coloring this book in a very different way that he does Kill All Immortals. Another beautiful book. DC Hopkins is our letterer. And yeah, the premise of this book is kind of like a reverse Tron of sorts, where we have this ordinary 20-something who's facing fatherhood, and he discovered this old video game from his childhood, and he goes to get it repaired. It's broken, and he ends up getting sucked into the game. But here's the twist: when he gets there, he finds out that the game world says that he is the hero from the game, and he hasn't been sucked in from the ordinary world. Rather, he was missing in the ordinary world somehow, and he's finally come back home to the real world, which is this midnight world. And this is a world that is perpetually haunted in darkness. There's no daylight. It is threatened by monsters, and there's only one remaining city of humanity, and he is the hero to basically save this midnight world. And of course, he doesn't know which world is real and which world is not. And it's this Peter Pan cyberpunk adventure, and it just rocks. It's awesome. And I cannot wait for it. Comes out in October in a graphic novel form. So it's definitely a one and done kind of read it and enjoy it experience.
I'm just going through their YouTube site right now, which just looks fantastic.
Ted, did you see the trailer? I didn't send you the. Did you see the trailer?
At C2E2?
Okay.
It was one of.
I had it playing. Yeah. If you're hearing this podcast,
amazing.
If you're hearing this podcast and you are, there is an amazing trailer. Just Google the Midnight Shadows trailer. It's an amazing trailer that will get you really hyped up for the book.
Are they doing music to go along with the book?
That is the intention. Yeah, I'm not sure what officially has been said, but it's a fascinating endeavor to have the graphic novel based on the music, and then to have music based on the graphic novel. But that is very cool. That is the intention, and I don't know the timelines or the details about that, but that they will do some sort of. It will be reflected in their music at some point, and I'd imagine it would be close to when the book comes out. So we'll see.
They've got till October.
Right.
Only takes a weekend to record an album.
That's right.
Just talk to Warren Zevon. Wait, you can't anymore. Go talk to the ghost of Warren Zevon.
I will. No, I think that's for sure. I know they have new music coming, and I believe that there will be new music that ties in with the graphic novel.
It's something we've been seeing more lately. There was another book that just popped up, and I can't even remember what it is. And then there was Sturgill Simpson did a book, a graphic novel tied into an album.
I mean, there have been a lot of music graphic novel tie-ins, and I know it is a new trend, and there's been some amazing.
It's something that I'm loving overall. I mean, it doesn't always work, but nothing always.
Yeah,
works.
but this I will just say, just to clarify, the Midnight as a band are not in this graphic novel directly.
Well,
no. It's not like
I'm talking.
The two characters from the Midnight dropped into some experience.
Absolutely.
You can if you enjoy sci-fi adventure series, or you enjoy my work, you should absolutely, and you've never heard of the Midnight, you should absolutely go check this book.
Right. No, the ones I was bringing up are also not ones where the band was. I mean, I love ones that have bands. I love like Z2's doing a lot of biographies and whatnot, and that's great. But what I'm talking is there have been 3 or 4 lately where it's like a concept album and a graphic novel to go along with it.
Yeah,
and that's just really cool to me.
That is really cool. Yes. Agreed.
So
Hard agree.
I'm curious. I mean, have you written the whole thing already?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
In fact, not only have I written the whole thing, but we did just put the final touches on the entire series. So
oh, so it's just
it's
sitting and
practically
waiting for.
it is, and that's the interesting thing about the book market, that actually you
Oh
wrap
yeah,
these books up far ahead of
way in
time,
advance.
and then yeah, the book market needs a lot of lead time too. So
Right.
we announced this book maybe a couple months ago, and it's announced for 6 to 8 months later
Right.
for the full release of it.
So what kind of relationship? I mean, you said that they toss some ideas your way, that it's based on their music, that they're writing music based on that. What kind of working relationship was there as you were putting things together
Yeah,
between the
it was
music
very
side and the art side and the writing side?
it's very collaborative and very additive. I mean, I initially came up with the foundation of this idea of saying, what about a character who's sucked back into the video game world and this or that, and I shared how I thought it reflected a lot of the things, and I gave them kind of a look at it. And then from that, I mean, I guess not too different than laying down music. It was a very additive experience where they were, sharing their ideas that I can incorporate into the story and build on top of it. And it was all just kind of layering in more nuance. So, I mean, they were fully online with the foundation of what I wanted to do. And then they just came on board and continued to add and enhance. And then obviously, I brought them everything from, they were participating and looking at uh, character designs and, the world designs and the artists that we brought on and early pages and everything, and I would, have a few sessions with the band where I would say, I'm in this story and we need a location, and let's talk about what location best fits, or we need a character and what are they doing, and they would weigh in. So yeah, it was a really positive experience, but I didn't feel tied to anything. I felt like I had creative freedom as a creator to definitely do what I wanted to do, but they were extremely collaborative as well. It's great. It's been a great
Right.
experience, and it just came together beautifully.
Again, just as I'm looking at the page, I'm seeing very video game-esque and a similar car, just looking at the horror show
Yeah,
videos.
yeah. See, a lot of their album covers
So
and a
were you
lot of their
already
yeah, they've done a lot of music videos, and a lot of it ties into the same elements that we play with,
okay?
fast cars and you know midnight and empty
Old video
roads and
games,
and the cities
right?
of light and dancing until dawn and all these kinds of things that like are in their music. We took as many elements as we almost like you say, like I did with Kill All Immortals. Like you put all these elements on the table and then you just construct the story
Put it
with
together.
as many of them as possible. So I mean,
It's
yeah,
just I was particularly struck because and I have like terrible visual memory, but I felt like as I was
oh, the post-apocalyptic mall. Yeah, like
oh yeah,
malls are a really big facet in their music and on their album covers. And so we have a mall is kind of a central location in the story. And at one point it's kind of like completely destroyed.
right,
Yeah. And there's an arcade that's very indicative of kind of like 80s, 90s culture and obviously
right.
playing video games. And so, yeah, there's a lot of touchstones that I think
And
readers who
and I
know the
think I was actually just and this is how not terrible my visual memory is. I think I was reacting to the lines here and then equating them to the lines there, even though they're very
Mm-hmm.
different lines. Like, oh, video game with lines, video game with lines. Oh no, that's simulating an old television set, and this is simulating like
But I get what you mean. Like they kind of evoke the same
right
vibe a little bit,
that
but
that that
the
old
Oh yeah,
16 bit.
the effect on the screen there. Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Right.
Yeah, the
But
pinks and
yeah, no.
purples
So I'm
really
definitely
lend itself to that
is
era.
Dream Away the name of the game? That's a cool.
That's the name of one of the games, yeah, and that's also the name of one of their songs. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the car just
And you
reminds
said
me
you were
of
friends
Kit.
with Tyler from before the band?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I met him here in Los Angeles, and yeah, just
Were
met
you a
through.
Knight Rider fan? Because this car just reminds me of Kit.
Absolutely, absolutely, and the car talks. Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
awesome.
If you're
I
gonna
can't wait
have
to
it,
get
if
it.
you're gonna have something that taps into '80s nostalgia, you need a talking car for sure.
That
Oh,
looks great.
this looks so fun.
Yeah, I
Uh,
can't wait to read it.
I'll send
It
you
just I
you
have not.
more as soon as I am sneaking
allowed
out
to.
some more. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Sounds
get it.
good.
I get it. And I promise that if we post it on the internet, we'll bounce it off like 17 different servers and it can't be traced back to
Yeah,
you.
if only we knew how to do that.
Oh, yeah, we barely know how to post stuff on the internet.
I I get this
We know how to
posted,
get
and that's
audio
about
up. I don't know if we can
it.
get pictures up.
So
Um, Zach, it's always a pleasure. I gotta ask my favorite closing question. Because I can't remember what you said last time. If you remember what you said last time, try to say something else. And if you
Good
don't,
Lord.
then maybe we'll get the same. Tell me a graphic novel or comic, something that you love, and wish you had more people to talk about with, but not enough people have read it.
A graphic novel or comic that I love that I wish I had more chance
People
to
to
talk
talk
with.
about. Yeah, you wish more people had read it so you had people to talk about it.
I feel like all the one I got to make sure I don't go to something that everyone's talking about. Like I can't say like
I mean, you
space,
can't.
like no one's talking
Okay,
about that space
to
ghost. No one's
to be
talking about that
fair,
space ghost comic.
Nate Powell, in response to that, said, "I've become a Wednesday warrior for the first time in forever. I've been reading these X-Men books."
Right.
yeah,
And then like got serious into it. So I mean, you could take the question however you like. I've read so much that managing to stump me is sometimes hard. And it's not about trying to stump me. It's about like, what do you love? Like love.
All right, I'll
But
say
I like to
two.
put the other.
I feel like people are talking about these, but I feel like maybe even more people should be talking about these two. And I'll say Sean Lewis's new book. Uh I'm gonna get the four words in the wrong order, but it's like
Viking,
bear, Viking,
bear,
queen, pirate,
Yep.
bear, pirate,
read that
Viking.
last week.
Yeah. No, both Tyler and I had that on our top 3 books
It's
last week.
really
Love that.
cool.
So
It's
good.
really provocative and interesting. Not only is it beautiful, but it's really,
Does the artwork look like Bill Sienkiewicz to you guys
A little
yeah,
a
bit.
little bit?
for sure. Yeah, I think
Definitely got a Sienkiewicz vibes.
that
Yeah.
one was amazing. And I'm really
Yeah.
excited for where that's going. And then
It's bear, pirate, Viking, queen.
yeah.
That's our order.
Yep.
And then
From Jonathan Marks
Man's Best.
Baravecchia.
Talking about animal, but
Oh,
I
that's
thought
good.
Man's Best was great.
Jesse
And
Lonergan is the best
that's
artist that
and
not
that's
enough people know.
and that's Pornsec.
Oh, Porsak is amazing.
Who did
Yeah.
Infidel and Good Asian, and he won all the awards for Good Asian, and it's so different for him, but it's just again such an interesting book, and I really appreciate that some of the really interesting books that are like nothing else out there, but really stand out to me, and so look, Helen of Windhorn is really I mean, who doesn't expect Tom King? Tom King can't miss. He's the LeBron James of our comics.
Dad started a hashtag on Twitter when Twitter was bigger. Hashtag was Tom King good at comics. Yeah,
I don't know. For me, he doesn't miss. I know that
No, he
some
doesn't.
people.
He doesn't. I literally have a T-shirt that says Tom King is good at comics.
Yeah, I don't.
My wife
I don't
made
feel
it for me.
And I mean, he's a very high high profile and a big following. So when he does a great book, yeah, but like I felt like Man's Best and Bear Pirate were really great books that deserve all the praise they could get.
Don't take this the wrong way, Zach. I reached out even faster to Pornsack and Jesse when Man's Best was announced than I did to you when Kill All Immortals was announced.
We can that's
and I think I reached out to you within an hour of knowing that Kill All Immortals.
So you waited an hour, but we waited an hour is the point with me. You were like, oh, I got to read that, but I'll wait.
Well, no, I didn't. What it was is I was in school for both of them, and for you, I waited until the right moment, and for them, I like blew off what I was supposed to be doing to send an email.
Fair enough.
I get it now.
Those are two books. If you're out there, I recommend both of those books for sure.
Yeah, they're
great stuff.
So good. And did you get a chance to meet Jesse at C2E2?
No, I've not met Jesse actually yet.
Again, I cannot emphasize enough. Jesse is the best cartoonist out there that not enough people are talking about.
Oh, I believe that. Yeah,
it's just ridiculous. Arco with Van Jensen.
Arco was great. Yeah.
He did Miss Truesdale with Mignola.
It might be right, yeah.
Right. And then
I'll work with Tad. You don't have to convince me. I'll work with him already. I'll work with him.
Well, I mean,
I'll do it.
He writes
hard
too,
to get a hold of.
He writes his own stuff too. So
no, I cannot wait. He's teasing the fact that he's near. Those of us who are patrons have seen his upcoming book that probably won't be called Drome because he's close to selling it to a publisher, but they don't love the name. But the 5 chapters have been up on his Patreon since he finished it, and like it's
gorgeous,
mind-bogglingly good.
I mean,
I'm pitching you. If you see his name on anything, you should read it.
Yeah, he has an amazing style that really uses the page like no one else. It's very impressive. Very impressive.
He crosses all of the different, like he's got like mini zines coming out through Silver Sprocket. He's got, it's like he's just always cartooning and we'll put it out in whatever way it fits.
Yeah.
Not unlike yourself. You're always writing something cool and finding.
I'm trying to keep it coming for sure.
Which is how I think is this your 4th time? We're talking about making 5-timers t-shirts, and you're coming off.
On our show?
Yeah.
I can go back and look. I've got all of our episodes
John Lees
archived.
Was very upset that we hadn't come up with our 5-timers club.
Oh, I would take a 5-timers pen. But wait, if it's 22 panels 5 times, is it 110? Is it 110?
I don't know.
We'll have to figure that out.
So we'll figure it out.
We'll make John Lee's one for sure.
Yeah. What's pretty crazy is Kill All Immortals and the Midnight Shadows will be my 10th and 11th creator-owned comics.
Wow.
And I actually will end the year. I will end the year with the 12th one that has not yet been announced. So I'm really excited to
be talking to you one more time.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
As I was getting ready
you are also the best at getting out emails to everybody saying, "Hey, I got this
Here's
coming.
what I got.
Take a look at it. Send me an email."
Trying, yeah.
I love
it. You got to beat your own drum. If you're a comic creator out there, you probably know this well, but you have to.
Well,
shamelessly beat your own drum, and I guess the way you do that is you have to believe in you have to believe that you have something really amazing that people do want to check out, and so I am quite shameless about trying to get the word out.
I can't emphasize enough that I love it.
Thank you.
Tyler and I try really hard to stay on top of everything cool coming, and even doing that, I will sometimes go, holy shit, you had this entire book come out that I haven't heard come out.
And it's
Zach,
that's especially true with you, because you have put out series that I was like, wait, that was him? Because you've done so much stuff.
So I mean, I just talked to Tyler missed it. Who did I talk to on Sunday? It was Tony Scott.
Tony.
Yeah.
Tony Parker.
Tony Parker. And I went, Yeah, Tony, I started going through your stuff, and like the last time I talked to you, you were drawing two things, and you never mentioned the.
There's a lot
And
of content.
somehow I missed it.
Yeah, there's a lot of content out there, and you got to cut through the noise and get the word out. So it's a great time for comics and a great time for film and TV. There's a lot of things out there. So yeah, it is an amazing time for comics.
Just make it a little bit easier for all of you to pay your rent.
Yes, there are
Just a
some
little
business. The business is going through some ebbs and flows. And when I say
always
amazing
does.
time for comics, I don't mean an amazing time for stores. I don't mean that it's a hard time for stores, and it's a hard time for it is, and it's a hard time for the business. But despite that, despite the challenges that the direct market and stores and the business is facing, there are some amazing comics being made that are going to stand the test of time that people will talk about for years and years. And it's so that excites me as a creator just to be, contributing to that time. So,
well, and I think for the direct market, it is like it has always been. You need to be flexible. You need to know your audience well. You need to take chances on only the things that you actually feel like you can sell.
I don't know. I reach out to a lot of stores, and tragically, I continue to see a lot of stores closing their shop. A lot of stores closing their doors, and I'm not smart enough to diagnose why or what is happening. But it is just to say that I don't want to share a celebratory moment in comics without acknowledging at the same time that there's simultaneously a hardship going on. And that is tragic because I love comic shops so much.
Comic shops too.
So, but despite that but
I also don't think
there's
anything better for comic shops than making more good comics.
That's all we can do.
Right.
That's all we can do is make great comics and get the word out. That's all. That's all we can do. And it's a great time to be reading comics. If you're reading comics, or you're coming in to discover comics, or you're growing as a comic reader, it's a great time to be reading comics. So,
era. There's so many good comics to actually read them all.
So thanks, Tad and Tyler, for helping me get the word out. I appreciate it.
We do our best.
No problem. Thanks for being on the show.
Tyler, you want to take us out?
Sure. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we will catch everyone after the next page. Later. Hey, guys. This is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22panelspodcast.